Hello boys and girls of grade 9 and welcome to English language class. Today's lesson will be about generation gap and family ties. And I hope that you will enjoy it. Reading Comprehension 1. When asked who their role model is, teenagers often refer to a well-known, successful and powerful person. However, it is of no doubt that outsiders are oblivious or somewhat ignorant to what actually happens behind the scenes of a person they don't know. This is why my one and only role model is my dad, whom I lived with my whole life, unraveling every corner of his unique and inspiring personality. Acquiring even a quarter of my dad's mentality and wisdom would not only be an honor but would also inspire and motivate me even more to be just as exemplary of a person he is. My father has always been known for his calm yet fun personality, which is often expressed even by his fashion preference. Waleed might seem to be formal and classy, but that all depends on who he is meeting with and where they are gathering. He always makes sure that there's a time and place for everything. With that being said, if he were to meet with a coworker in a 5-star restaurant, he would definitely not choose to wear his grey knee-length shorts paired with his favorite colorful Thailand beach shirt from his honeymoon, just like he always does with family gatherings in the park. Instead, my dad would dress up in his black tuxedo and a navy blue tie to finalize professional attire. Not to forget how much attention-grabbing Waleed is with his broad shoulders and perfect posture. In a nutshell, my dad's style can be formal, but it can also be fun and casual depending on the occasion, location, and the people attending. On a social level, my dad is experienced in communication skills. With his consideration to various mentalities, ages and personalities, anyone feels safe around him. Although he appreciates interaction with friends, he very much likes to be left alone from time to time. Who doesn't? Aside from his physical appearance and social behavior, my dad's inner attributes are what make him such an idol to me. To start with, Waleed has always been the most optimistic person in our family. Even in the hardest situations where no one seems to find light in the dark tunnel, my dad always plants a seed of hope and relief with his positive attitude. He is a good example for his children even in the most dramatic moments of our lives. As if the important qualities are not enough, my dad also believes in actions, not in words. He may not tell us he loves us or hugs and kisses every now and then, but he does put us first and is always providing for his family. To sum it up, my father has been and always will be the most significant and reliable person in my life. He taught me that no book or teacher could have done. There is no amount of ink or paper that suffice to express my appreciation for the hands that lifted me up and still are. Maybe one day, I can make my dad half as proud as I am to be his daughter. Choose a suitable title for the passage above. My role model. A superhero. My father. Look at the answer. Use contextual clues to figure out the meaning of each italicized word in bold. Then fill in the blanks with the correct words to complete the following sentences. Look at the answer. Choose the correct word to complete each sentence. Look at the answer. Reading Comprehension 2. Read the selection below about a foster family relationship and then answer the questions that follow. Manuel is a curious, affectionate little boy and today he's growing up at the heart of a loving family. But Manuel's early life was stained by tragedy. His mom died when he was born. His parents were living in a refugee camp at the time and his dad could not care for both his newborn son and his older children by himself. He made the heartbreaking decision to place Manuel in an orphanage and prayed that he'd done the right thing. The orphanage did provide Manuel with food and shelter but, like all children, he needed and deserved so much more. In order to develop and thrive, Manuel needed individual care and attention. He needed love. Luckily for him, there was a woman working in the orphanage called Olga who understood this. She could see how desperately he wanted and needed a family of his own. Olga and her husband, Cleo, arranged to become his godparents. A deep bond of love and trust grew between them. As Manuel grew older, the nuns allowed him to spend his holidays with Olga and Cleo and a deep bond of love and trust grew between them all. Then, when Manuel was nearly 5, a team volunteers and humanitarian groups began work to close the orphanage by finding loving families for all the children. This was the chance Manuel and his godparents had been waiting for. Once the necessary checks and training had been carried out, they became Manuel's official adoptive parents and he left the orphanage to join his new family for good. Today, Manuel is settled and content in his new home and especially close to his foster sister, Keta. "I never want to go back to an orphanage," Manuel told us, "because I am happy and comfortable with my foster family. They give me all the love and care I need." A foster family story. Olga and her husband Cleo had always loved children and had longed for a child of their own for many years. Olga would return home in the evenings, from her work at the orphanage, and share the children's sad stories with her husband. She told him about Manuel, how bright and affectionate he was and how badly he needed a family of his own. By becoming Manuel's godparents, Olga and Cleo hoped they would be able to show they were committed to him and help him to feel wanted. The Rwandan government's policy of closing orphanages and finding loving families for children instead gave Olga and Cleo the opportunity to welcome Manuel into their family more lastingly. "I have always loved Manuel since the time I was given the responsibility of being his godparent," Cleo explained. "My desire has always been to give him an opportunity to enjoy family care in our home." Manuel and his godparents were given time and support to prepare for the move, something both Olga and Cleo believe was vital to make this type of alternative care a success. But today, Manuel not only has a mom and dad to love him, he has a sister and a brother too. Keta joined the family from an orphanage when she was 5 and then, to everyone's delight and surprise, Olga discovered she was pregnant. "We had prayed for another baby and this is God's way," she told us. Baby Nelly is now a year old and doted on by all. Rwanda is the first African country to commit to closing all its orphanages. Hope and Homes for Children has been operating successfully since 2002. Choose a suitable title for the article above. A wise decision. The foster parents. The orphans. Family bonds. Look at the answer. Rewrite the following sentences, starting each as indicated, without changing the meaning. The government encourages people to adopt orphans across Lebanon. People are encouraged to adopt orphans across Lebanon. People are encouraged to adopt orphans across Lebanon by the government. Look at the answer. Foster parents did not attend the ceremony because they were not invited. Had they been invited, foster parents would have attended the ceremony. Had they been invited, foster parents would have attended. Look at the answer. Choose the correct verb to complete the sentence. The officer wanted to know why didn't the representative show his papers. The representative will not, the representative did not. Look at the answer. Thanks for listening and goodbye.